Hello guys, Mushu here, and today we're gonna be talking about, Demonology. This is a demo guide. We're gonna be talking about talents, PvP talent, conduits, soulbind, Lego, and rotation. So yeah, I know it's been a while, but let's get to it. I'm gonna try to explain this guide and talents and everything as fast as I can, because I don't wanna take a lot of time, explaining thing by thing, little by little, because it's gonna take me like 30 minutes or so. I don't want that. So let's go. Okay, first of all, I'm Knife. You guys can see that right here. We're gonna get into that in a second. Let's go and talk over talent. So, in the 15 talent tree, basically, I'm gonna be playing always like Dreadlash. Dreadlash is just insane because it just makes your doggy do a lot of damage and spread damage if people are stacking or whatever. This is like insane and interacts really well with your 2 set. So, you always wanna play Dreadlash. In the talent 325, well, you have two options, but usually people play Doom, so you don't have to think too much about sacrificing your imps or anything, because of course you need kind of like imps to ramp up in order to burst, buff your tyrant damage, but you can still play Power Siphon if you don't like Doom. Power Siphon is really good, like let's say you face like a Shadow Priest, or there's a water and he's putting banner, and you don't have like anything to like right away kill it, you can pop Power Siphon and kill the Siphon with 2 demonic cores, or the Siphon, the banner, you can kill like things instantly with, demonic core procs. This is like personal preference, I would say. It doesn't hurt. You're not gonna do less damage or anything. Yeah, Doom does like 9%, 7% of your damage. It's still decent, it's like free damage every 15 seconds, and it gives you a soul shard, right? So yeah. Okay, in the talent level 30, I will say there's okay. You always gonna pick Demon Skin. Why is that? Dark Pack is good, but you know you need Demon Skin because your pet, when you're taking damage, percentage of the damage that you take is gonna go to your pet too. It splits between you and your pet, right? So you need this talent in order to make your pet super tanky, and you're gonna be tanky too. But the most important thing is like to make your pet tankier because your pet is gonna take damage, right? So in some matchups like this, like in 3v3 arena scenario, or maybe in some 2v2 scenarios, you can play Dark Pack into RMP, Rogue Mage, Priest. This is the only scenario that basically I pick Dark Pack. Outside of it, I always gonna play Demon Skin regardless. Always. Always, always. Never like spec outside of it. If you don't feel comfortable playing with Dark Pack into Rogue Mage, don't worry about it. You can still play Demon Skin. But that's just like, a personal preference thing. So yeah. In the level 35, okay, there's a lot of people telling me, hey, can you play Bifin, whatever, Soul Strike? I don't like it. Let me tell you why. Okay, when you play Biofin, it's really good to buff your Tyrant damage, but outside of it, you don't need to use Biofin at all. Biofin is just bad. It doesn't do anything outside of by buffing your Tyrant, right? And Tyrant, what is it? It's like 1.5 minutes CD, right? And Biofin is 45 seconds. They kind of like don't match that much, and you're just like kind of like losing damage. You have like, yes, you have like more burst damage in a window with Tyrant buffing, with Biofin, but outside of it, it's kind of like meh, it doesn't work. I mean, it works, right? But it doesn't like do damage. So you're gonna be basically relying way too much on your Tyrant, and that's not like the move in arenas, right? You need like to be like putting pressure consistently. So you can still play it. If you play this Biofin thing, it's good because it's fire school. So basically, if you get kicked on Biofin, you can still cast like Fear, Hand of Gul'dan, and all and Knife Fate things, because basically it's fire school if you get locked down on it. But yeah, I go with From the Shadows because Soulstrike, yeah, give you like you can kill Siphon with these things doing everything, but if you're not playing From the Shadow, it's a lot of damage because From the Shadow interacts insanely well with Dreadlash, and you have a Conduit that it has a chance. It's a low chance, but it interacts really well with the 2 set from your Demonology, and from all this, the Conduit and everything. It makes it like so much damage, and it makes it like OP. So you basically want to play like From the Shadows, because From the Shadows too, like let's say you're playing, you summon imps and everything, and your Tyrant, when you throw the dogs to the dummy or whatever, any target, the target takes like more damage, right? Let's say when you send the dogs and then you send your Terran is gonna be doing more damage for 12 seconds into that person because he has like the dread by debuff. Basically, that makes sense. Same with your pets, your imps, everything does more damage. It's kind of like similar to like decimating bolt. If you guys like notice, like every time you like get the 4 stacks, you send deci, you send the dogs, and then you demon bolt, demon bolt, demon bolt. It's pretty much similar, but your pets basically are just the ones that are gonna do more damage instead of like demon bolts. That's pretty much it. Uh, Level 40 talent 3. Basically, I always play Mortal Coil. I don't think you need Hall of Terror. I don't think you need like Dark Fury. You already have like enough stuns. You don't need to reduce like stun. You already have like Felgar stun. You already have you have Grimmer stun. You have Shadow Fury still. So I will say that this coil helps you like give you, it heals you, and at the same time it's really good for a setup window to kill. You can like stun into coil, coil into stun, and your Tyrant is like doing damage in that window. So I don't think Hall of Terror is like good in those matchups because you can like spam fear. You can kick on fear. You still have like your Tyrant. I mean, not your Tyrant. Sorry, your Fulgar stun and everything. So I don't think you can spam fears regardless. It's not like it's gonna hurt. I will say it's like overkill to spec into this when you already have like a stun. You have coil. You have like I don't think you need more fears. You can just play coil in order to like heal yourself and do like more setups with it. In the level 45, you can play either Grimwell Fulgur, which is the one I'm using, or you can play Soul Conduit. Soul Conduit is good, but it has like a very low percentage to refund your soul charge. But if it procs, it's insanely OP. It's good. But basically, Grimoire of Fulgur above your Tyrant too is another extra stun. So for example, let's say you're doing a rotation, you can like stun the guy with this talent, Naya, Tyrant, send your damage, and then into a coil into another stun with your actual normal pet. It's really good above your Tyrant insanely well. You can still play Soul Conduit if you don't like the Grimoire of Fulgur, because if you have like this conduit with another, I mean this talent with another conduit that you have, which is called Born of Blood, they interact really well and you can do like huge implosion damage, which I will get into that in just a second. In the last talent tree, of course, if you're playing Night Fae, there's no question about it. You play Demonic Consumption 100%. Always, always, always. And yeah, Demonic Consumption, what it does is just like, makes your Tyrant do more damage, and it drains HP from your minions. So you wanna have like a lot of HP. You wanna have like before you do damage, you wanna summon a lot of pets, and then you summon the Tyrant, because Tyrant is gonna do damage based on your how many minions do you have, because it's gonna take HP from your minions, if that makes sense. Okay, PvP talents. So there's not much into it. You can Fell Obelisk is really insane when you do the Tyrant go. So I will say play always Fell Obelisk. Unless you're facing double caster, you can play Netherward. But since I'm so tanky as Demo, I feel like I don't need Netherward into double casters. I can get away with it. I can get away without playing Netherward and just play Fell Obelisk. Always kick in arena. Call for Hunter is just mandatory. You're always gonna need the interrupt to interrupt damage, to interrupt a healer when the DPS is about to die. Stuff like it just interrupt. This is mandatory. You need this. Master Summoner. This is the other talent that you are 100% always gonna pick, doesn't matter what. This is like 100% baseline. Don't look into other things, cause you need this talent 100%. And why is that? Because it makes your dog is instant cast. It makes like your stalkers go instant cast, right? I know there's a PB normal talent that is Demonic Calling, but you don't. This is like way too overkill. You don't need this. That's why you have the PvP talent, right? So just pick Master Summoner and you're good. So now, let's go into Conduits really quick. So, Conduits. You can play with Dreamweaver, but I'm playing Naya. I feel like Naya is the best. Why is that? Naya give me Mastery, which it buff my pet damage, and Naya give me HP, which technically it buff my pet damage, it buff my Tyrant, in a way, right? Because depending on my HP, I'm gonna summon pets based on my HP, and from those health pools, my pet is gonna do more damage basically. So I would say always go Naya. You can try and go during war for the meme and go like super haste mode and everything, but I would say Naya is better for like more damage, more burst, more consistent damage. So yeah. Okay, first conduit is called Tyrant Soul. I will say this conduit is good. It's really fucking good, but I've been getting a lot of questions because I don't want to say why is that bad, but since I'm making the guide, I have to, right? So the only problem with this conduit is like when after your tyrant expires, your pets do damage, which is insane, 22% damage, for 15 seconds. That's a lot, right? The problem is that this thing you get it as a buff, and it's purgeable. So if you're facing an enemy with purge, which usually that your hunter has purge, like shadow priest has purge, normal priest has purge, mage has a spell steal, a lot of like shamans have purge, a lot of things has purge, right? They're gonna just like purge your buff, and you basically are losing 22% damage, and you're just like losing a conduit for no reason, right? But since people don't understand demo, that's why a lot of people can get away with it, because people don't understand what a demon is doing. It's like, oh, tyrant, oh, what is this? So many imps, they're going crazy, right? So that's why you can get away with playing this conduit, because they don't know yet, and they don't have to purge this, because they don't purge. So if they purge, you're losing damage. If they don't purge, because they don't know what demo does, you can get away with 22% more damage from your pets, which is really good, right? So if I don't play this conduit because I'm being purged, the best other conduit option that you have is Born of Blood. Why is that? Because when you cast Hand of Gul'dan, you get charges of Demonic Core, which is like you can like instant cast demonic demon bolts, and then you cast Hand of Gul'dan to summon more pets. I will say between Born of Blood and Tyrant Soul is personal preference. If you feel like you're like super charged starving and you cannot like get a lot of like Hand of Gul'dan or procs, then play Born of Blood. Don't worry about this. I would say it's personal preference. This conduit is really good, but that's the only problem with the conduit. That's it. Like it can be purged, and that sucks. It's like a kind of like it looks like a Dark Souls too, right? So people when they see this debuff on you, or buff, sorry, they're gonna see that okay, it can be purged. What is that? It looks like a Dark Souls. I can purge it, and there you go. Okay, here play Shadow of Terror is really good, so my fears doesn't break right away. Because sometimes my pets are going crazy. Because there's a bug with Command Demon that sometimes you keep spamming it to a different target and your pets are like ignoring you because it's a bug, right? So you guys feel free to like make a ticket or send like a bug report into Blizzard. So I've been doing that because I'm trying to make like demo work, and I want them to fix the bugs with Demonology, because there's also a bug with Tyrant. But yeah, this is like Resolute Barrier is always like baseline. You always want to have this. This is like normal thing. When you get attacked, it reduces the cooldown of your wall, which basically is your defensive. So you always want to have this conduit, doesn't matter what. That's pretty much it. There's no secret. There's nothing. It's just OP. It's good. Having like an extra defensive, like coming back as soon as we can, is good. This is the other conduit that I'm talking about that is really OP, and needs to be baseline. So basically has a chance to trigger another Dreadbite, and this is when it comes with your two set from demo. This is when your Dreadlash talent and from the Shadow talent, all of them like mix out. It makes this conduit procs a lot. You might think it doesn't proc, but you have to try play and you guys will see. This is like baseline. Always play this mandatory. Fell Commando. This is the other potency conduit that you're gonna play, and it's not that much for the Felgar damage. It's most likely for the damage reduction to your pet, right? You want your pet to take like no damage basically. It's gonna take damage, right? But you want your pet to be tanky, so you always gonna play this talent. I mean this conduit, sorry. So I always play this. Always. And the another one that is very important is Fell Celerity. Why is this? Because let's say there's gonna be people that are gonna train your pet like crazy. If your pet dies, you need to get your pet back ASAP. Basically, you have a 20% motor strike, and without your pet, you're not gonna be tanky. You're gonna take a lot of damage as Demo. The most important thing about Demo is like keeping your pet alive. So this thing, it makes your, it in case your pet dies, it makes it like reduce the cooldown to resummon your pet to basically 1.6 minutes, right? So it's really good. This is baseline. That's pretty much it. There's no more into conduits. It's the same in the same scenario. You can apply the same conduits in Dreamweaver. You're playing with haste. It's the same thing. It doesn't change anything. All right, let's see. Let's go into talent. I mean, not talent. Sorry, gear and Legos. So I'm playing Forset as Demonology. So I'm playing with helmet, shoulders, chest, pants, basically. And yeah, gloves, I use the normal ones from PvP. The rest is everything is PvP. So if you guys can see my stats right here, I'm pretty much playing with 34% haste, 22 mastery, and 31 versatility, which is really good. Yeah. Legos that I'm playing right here, I'm playing right now with the Dread Calling. Why is that? Just so you have like 3 options to play as demo. You have like 3 Lego options, which is like Wilfred, which is like this one right here, that reduce the cooldown of your demonic tyrant basically by every soul shard that you spend. It is really good. The problem with this is like you're basically a Demolog that is relying only on tyrant. Outside of tyrant, you're just like do nothing that very much, right? So you can still play it, it's good, right? But outside of tyrant, you're just like spamming, but you won't do like you're not scary, you don't do anything. All you have to do is like wait for that tyrant. Basically, it makes it shorter, which is good, but in high arenas you cannot be expecting to do much. Tyrant can be LOS, tyrant is bug. Sometimes they you need something else in order to like compensate for the tyrant in case your tyrant gets kicked, gets like LOS, gets CC, a lot of things, right? So that's why I'm playing Dread Calling, which is really good because it makes your Dread Stalkers do more damage basically. So this is insane. This conduit is insane. The Unity, you can either put it on ring or you can either put it on boots. This is personal preference because I can make it right now. I can put it on boots too because I have Unity for everything. But I will say, Dread Calling is the Lego to go. The another Lego that you can pick, you can go like this, and it's called Demonic Synergy. Basically, with this Lego has a huge uptime, and you and your pet gonna do way more damage. For 15 seconds, it has a really big uptime. I've been testing with it. I've been playing around with it, and it's really good. It's similar to the Dread Calling, but instead of like only like Dreadstalker damage, you're gonna do more damage with everything else, basically with your main pet and your abilities when you get the buff on you. So it's really good too. I've been testing with it, and I've been doing really nice implosion damage when I get the buff, But yeah, but the basic one that if you don't wanna think too much, just like spam damage and just keep going doing damage and spamming damage, is just like this one, Dread Calling. So basically, outside of Tyrant, you have another like consistent damage before it comes back, right? So that's pretty much it. When it comes to rotation, let me show you guys rotation. So let's say in a scenario that you don't have to rush a go. You don't have to do like a fast go. Basically, you just can be like, I don't know, you can put Doom on everybody. Make sure you put Doom on all targets, right? When you put Doom, of course, you send your pet. You're summoning, casting Shadow Ball, Hand of Gul'dan. You can send the dogs right away, because when the dogs expire, they're gonna give you the Demonic Core procs back, right? And you're just like, you're just sending damage right away, like some damage, not like bursts. You just always wanna keep like spamming Shadow Bolts. You're summoning, malicious imps right there. So right now, let's say I have a go. So basically, before you do your go, you always wanna Sword Road before you summon your Tyrant. Right now, okay, let's say something here. Let me see here. So I'm gonna summon an imp right now. If you guys can see, my imp has like 15k HP, right? We can say 15k. So this is like without Sword Road. So if I'm doing a go, let's say I'm gonna do a go right now. I'm gonna summon Sword Road, 15k HP without Sword Road. Now my HP have 16k, almost 17k HP, right? That's because of Sword Road. And then you can like you start building up right now. You do this, you send your Grimble Full Guard, stalkers, you know, summon Tyrant, and you basically just, you know, I'm not like building up right now, but it's just like a sample of rotation how you're basically gonna be doing, and you just keep doing this. And basically, when your Tyrant expires, it's gonna give you a demonic cord, and you always wanna save a mini stacks, like at least 2 soul shards, because then you get the debuff, and then you send the Starker. And you guys can see here, this is the buff that I'm talking about. It looks like a buff, right? It looks like a Dark Soul talent. So people gonna see this and they can purge your Conduit buff. But that's pretty much the, you know, I wasn't bursting like crazy. I still did 16k. I wasn't even ramping up or anything like crazy, right? And you can still do like, I've been doing like 36k. The max I have done is like 56k demonic Tyrant damage. But that was like a meme build that I play with, like instead of like Calfell Hunter, I play with Fell Lord. And I was just like playing with Battle Master to like give me more HP and then Sora, you know. But that's pretty much like the go. And that's like the talents that you wanna pick and everything. But let's say like, you know, outside of it, I would just like always you wanna send like Dreadstalkers. The rotation is kinda weird a little bit, but if you guys have like more questions or anything, just hit me up in Discord, hit me up in Twitch. You guys can ask me questions in the comments. I don't mind. Like, because I know demo is weird, but I will have to explain to you more in live than in a video, because I don't want to make this video super long. But since I have another Tyrant goal, let me show you really quick. So basically I'm building up, right? I'm building up damage here. You send doggies again. I will make sure you put Doom on everything. So since I have a lot of damage, I will say, now you can start like be like, okay guys, I have damage. You Sora, you start building imps. You send this guy here. And this is basically a huge ass girl. And always make sure that, like I was saying, make sure you save like at least 2 Stosha when your Tyrant expired, just to send the doggies back. And then you send doggies. So here, Tyrant was doing, you see, 35k damage, 17k normal hits, critical, you know, and I can make it bigger. This is just like a mini test that I'm showing you guys, but yeah, you guys can do crazy things with Demo. And of course, you're gonna be having a partner which is gonna be helping you in arenas, so you guys don't feel like, yeah, you're free casting. Yes, I'm free casting, but usually people don't train Demo because he's too tanky. But yeah, boys, that's pretty much it for rotation. If you guys have more questions, just like, I'm gonna put my Twitch in the description. I usually try to stream every day. Sometimes if I don't stream one day, I stream the next one, but I'm gonna be streaming today. And yeah, boys, just hit me up with questions, because I know Demo is weird, but I have like macros, I have weak autos and everything in my Discord. I have them in my Twitch. So yeah, thanks a lot for the support in Twitch. It's been amazing. And if you guys have more questions, just hit me up. Just hit me up. I'm free here for you guys. I'm trying to help you guys out with everything that, you know, giving my knowledge to you boys. So yeah, have a good day. Peace, boys.